How's it going, guys? Coming at you with what I hope to be a fairly concise video. I want to answer a question, and that is why I decided to build the Project Grendel rifle and why I chose the 6.5 Grendel cartridge. But before I answer that question, I've got to kind of share with you one of my philosophies, and that is that I'm very practical when it comes to my approach to firearms. I'm not a collector, okay? I don't have firearms just to have firearms. For me, they're tools. Granted, they are fun tools. They're something that I enjoy to shoot and experience. But I don't just have them just to have them. Like, I could tell you, every gun that I have, I could tell you its purpose and the reason why I own it. I don't just have it because it's pretty, okay? And so knowing that, I can tell you pretty much the reason why I built the 6.5 Grendel, and that is because my oldest son have his first opportunity to hunt this year, and he is very small for his age. He's probably at least a head shorter than everybody in his class, so he's very small in stature, and his length of pull is very small. And because of that, I don't have a rifle that he can utilize to hunt with, and it kind of poses a problem because I know that you can get youth stocks and really short stocks, things like that, for bolt action rifles and whatnot. But for the most part, those rifles become unusable by anybody of normal size later on down the road. So it requires you to restock the rifle and to do things to change it up. And so what I decided to do is skip all that mess and go with the AR platform, because the AR platform, you know, obviously we have the carbine length stocks that are collapsible, and so that fixes the length of pull issue. You know, we can change out the grips. We can do all kinds of different things to improve the ergonomics of or for the shooter.
Nice hit.
And so I decided on the AR platform. But what I needed to do at that point was decide whether I wanted to build an AR-10 or an AR-15. Right? There's obvious pros and cons to both. The obvious pro for the AR-10 is that you're shooting more capable cartridges.
Nice.
You're shooting more powerful cartridges like the 308, the 6.5 Creedmoor, 243, on and on and on. There's a ton of them. And so you get a more capable cartridge. However, that comes with the cost of more recoil and a lot heavier rifle as well. And from a hunting perspective, when you have to lug that rifle over dozens of miles, every little ounce counts. And so hunting weight is an issue. The other thing about recoil is my son has been around me shooting for a long time, okay? His whole life, pretty much. And so he's not new to firearms by any means. However, that doesn't mean that he can't be turned off by a gun that he doesn't find to be at least bearable in shooting. And so if I hand him a gun that's very intimidating with recoil and with blast, then there's a chance that he will get turned off to not only the shooting sports but also hunting, and that's the last thing I want to do. And so I really wanted to tone it down for my son, and that's why I decided to go with the AR-15 platform. Now at this point, obviously the biggest downside to the AR-15 platform is less powerful rounds, but we also get less recoil and we get a lighter platform. So there's upsides as well. But before I talk about caliber and why I chose the 6.5 Grendel, another piece of philosophy that I have to share with you is that I have never really ventured outside of common calibers. Mainly, not because I didn't want to necessarily, but I'm not a wildcatter. And for those of you guys that don't know what a wildcatter is, it's somebody that dabbles in wildcat cartridges. A Wildcat cartridge is a non-standardized ammunition. So it's usually an ammunition that is handcrafted one at a time from, you know, whether it's modified brass from another caliber or whatever. It's usually a non-standardized caliber. And whereas there's a lot of guys that love to wildcat, that really get into it, and I have a lot of friends that do it, and it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of know-how. And that kind of goes against my philosophy of being a jack of all trades, okay? I like to shoot long range, I like to shoot bolt guns, I like to shoot semi-autos, I like to shoot pistols of all types. I like to enjoy every type of aspect to the shooting sports. And if I get too bogged down in wildcatting or into putting all my attention into one caliber and one gun, then it takes away my attention from enjoying the rest of the shooting sports. And so I really just kind of shy away from the wildcatting or getting into non-standardized ammunitions. The other part of that philosophy is that from a prepping standpoint, from a preparedness standpoint, getting away from less than common calibers limits your ability to barter, limits your ability to find ammunition for your weapon, those kind of things. So there's a couple aspects to that, and there's more actually to that philosophy as well, but that'll be probably a separate video. But okay, so in knowing that, then you can see kind of my step-by-step approach to choosing the 6.5 Grendel. And there's so many good rounds that can be utilized in the AR-15. There's like the 25 Sharps, there's the 270 Wolverine, there's the 6.8 Spec, the 300 Blackout, 6.5 Grendel. The list goes on and on and on. There's the PPC cartridges. There's a whole gaggle of them. And so to decide which one to go with, it was difficult. Okay. Ultimately, the 6.5 Grendel for me filled a couple niches. For one, it has excellent long-range ballistics. It's also very, very efficient in its power factor. The other thing is that it's a standardized cartridge. However, it's a newer cartridge. It was introduced in like 2004, so it's only like 10 years old. But its popularity has grown, and I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon, especially with Wolf now picking up and making ammunition for it, and other companies as well. I don't think the popularity is going to go down. I think it's only going to go up because the Grendel is what it is. And it's standardized enough and popular enough that I can sufficiently enough go and find a box of ammunition. In fact, I know of 3 stores within about 15 miles of me that stock 6.5 Grendel ammunition. And so it's something that if I needed to in a pinch, I could go grab a box from the store. And that was important to me. I didn't want to have it so where I was completely crippled on finding ammunition for it. And really, part of this whole promotion of the 6.5 Grendel is a selfish part on my end, because I want it to become more popular. The more popular and the more guys that are actually going out and shooting the 6.5 Grendel, the more companies are more likely to pick it up and start making it. And so I'm really hoping to increase the popularity of this round by far. All those things being considered, that's pretty much the reason why I chose the 6.5 Grendel. Now, I'm going to be talking a lot about intermediate cartridges here in the near future. I'm just finishing up my research for my video, and we're going to be comparing and contrasting this with a few other intermediate cartridges. I'm also going to be talking about what game animals I feel the 6.5 Grendel is appropriate for. So that's also going to be part of the whole ballistics comparison that we're going to talk about too. So anyway, guys, so in a nutshell, that is why I built the 6.5 Grendel rifle and why I went with the 6.5 Grendel cartridge. So if you guys have any questions or comments about anything you've seen in this video, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. If you do like what you see, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this in the future. And as always, guys, thanks very, very much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video. See ya.